Hello and welcome back to the Emergency Room, where we diagnose trends in pop culture every week. I'm your host, Rumi, aka Emergency, and today's episode is definitely a special one. We're back here at Spotify Studios with another expert in entertainment to get the real tea behind the industry. If you remember in our last episode, we spoke to Niall Malik, who gave us a behind-the-scenes look at the modeling industry, the queer community, and just had a good time, to be real. But now, in this week's episode, we are taking a look at the creator economy and the creator industry. And I'm super excited to have with me the very talented, beautiful, intelligent, illustrious Coco Mocoe.
Hi. Oh my God. Thank you for having me. Yes, I'm so excited.
Welcome to the pod, girl.
Thank you for having me on.
It's been a long time coming.
I know. I always text you and I'm such a fan of the show. So when you ask me to come on, I'm so gagged.
I'm so happy to have you here.
Yes.
I'm a fan of your show.
Thank you.
Hold on. Let me actually give you your flowers really quick.
Aw.
Because for one, I think you're just super talented.
Aw.
You do so much. And I don't know if I told you this, I watched your stuff before I met you.
Really?
Yes. I saw your
Aw.
trend predictions. I'm like, wait,
Oh my God.
she's onto something.
Oh my God. Thank you. That means so much. I always say 2023 Coco, she's putting in work on TikTok. I was posting so many videos a day.
That's
and
crazy.
that version of me set up, I feel like what I'm doing now because she
Amen.
worked so hard. Yeah.
And now you're enjoying the fruits of your labor. You're still
Yes,
working
thank
hard as fuck. Today's episode is really special because I'm excited to have none other than Coco Mocoe here with us to give us a look at the creator industry and the marketing behind it. Mocoe is a trend forecaster and marketing expert who made a career off of accurately predicting rising stars and trends right before they blow up. After working at Famous Birthdays and BuzzFeed, she became a full-time creator. She now has a best-selling Substack and podcast, Middle Row with Coco Mocoe, where she interviews your next favorite celebrities like Slater, Adele, and Charlie XCX. She also dives into marketing topics on her solo episodes.
Thank
Period.
you. Yes.
I think you also do a lot more than that as
Thank
well. You speak at events. You are quite literally a thought leader for all things
Aw.
marketing and creative and creator and trends. So
Thank
shout out to
you.
you.
Thank you. I do feel if you're a creator or a creative, going and being on panels is such an underrated way to make money and travel.
And we're going to get into that because I
Okay.
think there is so much to the creator economy that people just don't
Yes.
really think about.
And I have predictions about where it's headed and stuff. So I'm excited.
Inside
Yes.
Scoop.
Yes. I'm so excited.
Let's talk about your start
Okay.
because I feel like you don't talk about your origin story very much online.
I don't. It's actually only ever when I'm on podcasts and I'll explain why, but my background is I was trying to be a journalist for the longest time, and in college I went to San Diego State. I couldn't pass this grammar, spelling, punctuation test. You only get 3 tries and then you get kicked out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I know. So I wasn't diagnosed till after college, but I have dyslexia and I didn't know, so I just could not pass this test. And I'd even read in high school, I read the biographies of Katie Couric, Diane Sawyer, Christiane Amarpour. I was like, I'm gonna be a journalist. That's what I wanted to do. And then my junior year, I was gonna get kicked out of SDSU. And then one counselor was like, you should try marketing. You might be good at marketing. And so they let me switch into marketing. And then I minored in sociology and poli-sci. And thank God, because I actually think I'm really good at marketing. And I can't see myself as a journalist. Oh, thank you. I cannot see myself as a journalist now. But when I graduated college, it was 2018. And I remember being like, I'll do marketing at a lawnmower company. I just want to get in. I was so excited about it. And I was listening to this one podcast, Gary Vee. I don't know if you've heard of it, but he's actually since DM'd me and was like, hi, I have fans in my office of your work. And I'm like, Gary Vee, you're the reason I went into marketing. But anyways, I was on Craigslist one day Craigslist, which is crazy.
Period.
Craigslist, late 2018. This is before Indeed and the websites that people use now were really big. So I was on Craigslist looking up marketing jobs, and I saw this one job come up, and they didn't say the name of the company. They were just like, we're in Santa Monica, we're in entertainment, and we need someone to run the Musical.ly account, which it was Musical.ly at the time, and then they changed their name. So I applied for the job. I remember going in literally the next day. They sent me the address and I looked it up and it was Famous Birthdays.
The concept of Famous Birthdays having Craigslist.
I know. They're innovative, babe. They're innovative. They're boots on the ground journalism. They're so innovative. I will always sing Famous Birthdays flowers, but I went in, they had a hot pink wall and I did the interview and they offered me the job. And I remember even one girl that I knew from college was like, if you take a job like running it musically, and then I think it was turned to TikTok, she's like, no one's going to take you seriously. And I remember like really internalizing that and being embarrassed actually the first few months, because I'm like, I can't tell anyone I'm running a Musically account. Like that's so embarrassing. And she used the word like any adult who's using that as a certified weirdo. And I'm like, am I a weirdo? Like I was so scared.
Right. Not you got weirdo allegations. Like you were an employee.
No,
like...
I was an employee. Yes. And but anyways, I'm glad I stuck it out. And at Famous Birthdays, the owner, his name's Evan Britton, he's like the smartest person I've ever met when it comes to understanding the internet. And he was like, if you see anyone who you think's going to get famous, invite them in. So everyone else on the team was running the Instagram and the YouTube and the Twitter. So they were seeing different celebrities. But I started seeing like Charlie D'Amelio come up on my feed and Addison Rae. And like, I remember when I saw a video of Charlie, I was like, I feel like there's something here. I reached out and she's like, actually, my dad's coming to LA soon. I'll come with him. And we were like, perfect. We'll film a video with you. And then we filmed a couple YouTube videos with Charlie when she came in. And one of those videos got 44 million views on YouTube. Shit. Yeah, it went so viral because no one had heard her speak before. We were the first interview with her, and her fans were like, oh my God, I've never heard her voice. They thought she was really soft-spoken because she actually really is. And then we were getting interviews with like Addison Rae, Brittany Broski, and I was like, okay, I'm really good at like spotting these people before they get famous. And there was also ways to double check on the back end of Famous Birthdays. You could see if people's names were starting to get searched. And Evan, the guy who's really brilliant in understanding like human behavior, what he taught us was, someone's about to blow up online if on Famous Birthdays there's an influx of people searching their name but it's spelled wrong, because it means they're word of mouth. Yeah. So it means that people are telling their friends about this person and they don't know how to spell it yet. So maybe that person's not famous enough yet to have a Wikipedia, but they're going, these like Gen Alpha and Gen Z kids are going on Famous Birthdays trying to figure out their name or who they are.
That's
and
a
find
really
info.
Smart.
Isn't it interesting?
Yeah.
So he was just like, he would just teach us things like that. And then I even like, this is such crazy lore. I went to the Sway House before they got like evicted by Mayor Garcetti, like a few months later. Yeah.
Ancient lore.
Ancient lore, yes. And so I had then applied for an internship at BuzzFeed and I didn't get it. And then like a month or two later, someone from their HR team emailed me and they were like, hey, we saw when you had applied for a different job that you run TikTok, and like, this is like early 2020. And they were like, no one else is running TikToks yet. Like, will you come over and build out our TikTok team? Oh, yeah. And they had seen that I produced like those videos that were getting 20 million views, 40 million views with these TikTokers. So then I got hired by BuzzFeed and built out their TikTok team, which then became the short form team. Yeah. Because my first year there, it was when like YouTube Shorts got launched, Instagram Reels. And I was there for almost 4 years.
That's crazy. I didn't know you were there for that long.
Yeah, I was there for a while. I was there like 2020 and then like 3.5 years. So.
Oh, so like almost like fairly recently.
Yeah. So I've been a full-time creator like 2.5 years. Yeah. So.
Wait, so when I met you were still at BuzzFeed? I
probably was, yeah. I was there for a while. Yeah, and I actually loved working there. So that's why I didn't like, I feel like some people have this impression that when they become creators, they're like, F my corporate job, I'm out. I was like, no, I actually like love working here and I didn't want to leave. But then once I had a non-compete clause. Yeah. So I couldn't take brand deals and stuff or do speaking engagements. I just didn't want to rock the boat. Okay. So once I got invited to my first Cannes Lion and they wanted to pay me. So then that's when I quit BuzzFeed so I could go do the Cannes Lion thing.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. That's so cool. Yeah. I feel like you're like Trisha Paytas in the sense that you have so much lore. Like lives. You're everywhere.
I know, yes. You've been everywhere. No, I know. I actually, on my podcast, I had Rebecca Black. We were filming yesterday. It hasn't come out yet. And I was telling her, I'm like, you would not remember me, but I remember in 2019, you came into Famous Birthdays. And like, I was so gagged. She's like, oh my God, Famous Birthdays. But yeah, I just feel like actually Famous Birthdays has so much like lore around it, even more than my BuzzFeed days. Yeah. Because by the time I got to BuzzFeed, it was really like insulated and they had a whole BuzzFeed celeb team. So I wasn't working with like celebrities the way I was at Famous Birthdays. Gotcha. Because it was a smaller team.
Now, do you feel like, because I know BuzzFeed had a lot of bad PR.
It did, yeah.
With how they like treated different creators that wanted to do more.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you had that experience?
No, I never had a bad experience at BuzzFeed, but I think it's also because two things. One, I started there after all of that had happened. That was like a lot in the 2010s, was like the why I left BuzzFeed videos would go viral, and they had a lot of layoffs. And I think by the time I started working there, BuzzFeed was on their best behavior because they had lost so many good employees.
Right.
My opinion, I don't know. And then also, I actually never signed a creator contract, and the whole time I was there, I never put myself on camera. There was only one time where this girl was supposed to film an unboxing for this like random Amazon like side account, and she was sick that day, and I filmed the unboxing, and I was so happy it only got like 1,000 views because I had this rule when I worked at BuzzFeed that if I started putting myself in the videos, because I was running the TikTok accounts, and I was like, if I start trying to get myself famous, I'm not going to make decisions. I'm not going to be deciding based on what the audience wants. I'm going to be like subconsciously deciding on what will get Coco famous.
Yeah.
So I never put myself on camera at BuzzFeed. So and I think it was smart too, because on my lunch break, I started my Coco Mocoe account. And on my lunch break, I would post videos, and those went viral. And I'm glad that I kind of had something separate. So they weren't able to like own the IP or anything of my creator.
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, honestly, BuzzFeed is kind of like a creator incubator. Like
It
a lot
is,
of the
yeah. They
biggest
launch a lot of,
creators-
yeah. The way that they described it to us, which I really agree with, is like, I know BuzzFeed gets a lot of hate. I actually really loved working there, and they describe it as like grad school for creators. So people that work there, like you really are working with the most brilliant people on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. So you're kind of learning from the best while you're there. And I think that's why so many people that leave BuzzFeed are really successful, because you're just surrounded by like the best of the best.
Truly.
At all of the platforms.
And I feel like all the creators that come out of BuzzFeed like specifically have longevity. And know how to have that staying power. They're always evolving. Like I think of like Michelle Carre.
Yes,
think of Sophia Nygaard. Like the Try Guys.
Yes, yeah. Quinta Brunson.
One
of the big
Quinta,
ones.
hello.
Yeah, Emmy Award-winning Quinta came from BuzzFeed. Yeah.
Which is crazy. And you, like,
thank you.
I think it speaks to, I don't know, like the way that you have to create on a long form platform, like specifically when it comes to like media and stuff like that, because you have to be able to transfer those skills.
Yeah. I also think BuzzFeed teaches you how to be on a team.
Yeah.
I actually feel for a lot of our creator friends who get famous at like 17 to 21, 22, and they've never had a corporate job.
Yeah.
They don't even really know how to do their taxes, which I actually like really feel for them.
It's
and
hard.
So they don't have longevity because they don't know. Yeah, they don't necessarily even know. I think working in corporate or having like a normal job before becoming a creator teaches you how to be on a team, how to, like for me, I had to learn how to hire the right people. And sometimes you make mistakes. I still to this day lose sleep over some people that had applied for jobs at BuzzFeed that I didn't hire because I went with someone else. And I'm like, oh, like I still regret not hiring that person. Yeah.
I think that's so interesting because I started off in corporate too before.
Really? Where were you?
I worked at, my first job out of college was at Twitter before Elon.
Oh, right. Oh my God, yeah.
My dream job. I loved it.
Oh, really?
And then Elon came in and
yes.
fired me.
I know a lot of people that left Twitter when he started.
It was bad. Like they let go of like 70% of the company.
Wow. Yeah.
Like all before Thanksgiving. Like that's my like class of 2020 story.
Oh my God, yes.
I didn't get a graduation.
You didn't get a graduation.
But I feel like that really set a good foundation because I was doing like content stuff there too. So similarly, I'm like, I feel like I have, like we both have like that sort of go-getterness.
Yeah, and how to have like structure and discipline.
Exactly.
Like you have to have in a corporate world. One last thing to add is when I was at BuzzFeed, I was really, and like you were saying, I don't really talk about my background a lot. When I was at BuzzFeed, I was really intentional about not revealing that on my TikTok when I was blowing up because I was afraid that people would follow me for working at BuzzFeed. And then when I left, they would unfollow me.
Oh.
Yeah. And then also I was like, if I make a mistake, I don't want them to like come for
Your
BuzzFeed.
job.
Yeah, my job. I didn't want them to like harass anyone who works at BuzzFeed if I made a mistake, and I have made mistakes. So like I was really happy that I kept those separate to just like protect. Yeah.
That's smart.
Those
That's
two
really
worlds.
smart.
Thank you.
I feel like as someone that's been a full-time creator for so long and also has had the experience of like doing both, like you said, people say all the time like, oh my God, I want to blow up and be a creator and like quit my full-time job. Like, what would you say to creators that are in that position, like maybe in that in between or just getting started?
I would say wait until you have like 6 months of a saving account. That's what I did because I was really scared financially. Before you do that, like this is all very boring admin stuff. Make an LLC. You can Google
Almost
how to
businesses,
do it.
baby.
Yes,
Yes.
Tokyo Tony Trucking. Like make yourself an LLC. That's the actually before I even started making money as a creator, I remember I made myself an LLC and I was so confused how to do it. I was crying in a Chase Bank parking lot because I couldn't figure out some number of my LLC I needed to open a bank account. And I'm so glad I did though, because then like shortly after I made my LLC, I started getting these brand deal offers. And I think I manifested, like I told the universe, I was like, I'm serious about this being a business. So start an LLC so you can write off on your taxes, like whenever you're booking a studio or you're getting a camera. And then if you're like me or you and you're a creator who wants to be like a podcaster, I always say like use this one website, Peerspace, and like start renting. Even if you're not posting the videos, sit in like a studio, see what it's like doing this full time, and then decide if that's for you. But yeah, just like honestly, like save your money while you can. Cause there's times as a creator where I'm like, okay, I made money this month. Okay, I need to hunker down. Like you just never know.
It'd be tough.
It's scary. Yeah.
I think people don't talk about that enough.
No,
Like
it's so scary.
I feel like being a creator is like has the same what's it called? Like tax bracket system as like any other job. Like
Yeah.
I feel like the majority of creators are like middle class creators. Like,
Yes.
even like creators with millions of followers. Like the money isn't always there.
Yeah.
But I feel like people be so loud about when they do have money
Yes.
that it's like, okay, you have a lot of money this month, but then the bills come and then you're kind of back on the rat race. Like everyone is kind of paycheck to paycheck. I mean, some people aren't,
Yeah.
which like shout out to that. But I think it's a lot rarer than
It
people
is.
think. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I know. It can be scary. That's why I am so glad I even had started like my Substack when I did, which we could get into. But yeah, diversifying as a creator. And also like TikTok used to pay hella money.
Okay.
I used to make like $6,000 a month on there.
Period.
And then they like pull back because once it like sold to Oracle, I think the algorithm changed.
Yeah.
So there's, you just never know. But like not to scare anyone, I will say like I love the freedom of getting to choose my days, of getting to make my own schedules. So it is, I think, worth the risk is like investing in yourself.
For sure.
Yeah. And you can write it off on your taxes. Like when you book a studio, you can write it off.
Yes.
Yeah.
When we talk about diversifying, you started off on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
Now you are a lot more places. You are everywhere. How did you think about what platforms to go to and getting into like the business mind of it all? Like, how did you decide where to go next?
Yeah. Well, I feel like TikTok is definitely like my biggest platform. I have over 1 million there. And then Instagram and YouTube have always been way more of a slow burn. I'm like, hello, like
It's
like
hard.
algorithm, like
Yeah.
can you see me or hear me or hear me or see me? Like please. But I would say that I started a podcast ahead of the curve that I was doing for a while, and then that just took up a lot of time. So I paused that, and then luckily I don't even know how I found out about them, but there's this website Substack, and Substack had me as one of their first ever, like they had this thing where it was a creator roster. Every year they pick 10 people that they bring on their roster and they want them to build out like videos, posting videos. And then once I got on Substack, I brought back Ahead of the Curve, my marketing podcast. And I was like, okay, guys, like if you want to listen to this podcast, you can be on my Substack. And that's where I became a bestseller because people missed my marketing podcast. Yeah. So I was really shocked about that people, I don't know if you ever feel this way. Sometimes I feel like, does anyone actually care what I have to say?
Yes. Like who gaffs? Raise your hand.
Who gaffs? Yes. Also who gaffs, and also sometimes I don't gaff. Like sometimes people will be like, oh my God, can we have your opinion? And like I'm grateful that people care. But I noticed that I had at a point become sometimes resentful that I would get these comments being like, can you comment on this? And I'm like, I don't have an opinion.
Yeah.
And I felt bad that I get frustrated. I'm like, I don't really know what I think about that. So anyways.
I don't think that's like fair for people to put on other people.
Like,
it's impossible to have an opinion on everything.
Sometimes I don't know. Yeah.
And you shouldn't have like a strong opinion on everything.
I agree.
You don't know everything.
Yes. In my ethos, every time I post a TikTok, a podcast, whatever it might be, is I will only talk about a trending topic if I have something to say that I haven't heard someone else say.
Yeah.
So if I could be so into the Odyssey, but like if a million people have made videos about it and I can't think of a new perspective, then I'm like, okay, then the internet doesn't really need my opinion on
Yeah.
this. But anyway, so then Substack became a really great thing. And I have a prediction about that maybe we'll get into later. And then also the reason I signed to my manager that I've had for almost 4 years now is when I started blowing up doing trend predictions. So that's how my TikTok went viral is at first, actually, this is like crazy lore, but I'm so into like tarot and astrology and I would post like tarot videos and I'm not ashamed of that because that's how I found a large part of my audience. So I'm always grateful to them. And I still like give my friends tarot readings when they come over and stuff. I was tired of doing those videos because I felt like it was so oversaturated. There's just so many people doing like tarot and astrology videos. And so I just told my audience, I was like, I'm going to like do something new. I don't know what it's going to look like, but when it feels right, I'm going to post something else. And then at BuzzFeed, it was part of my job to talk about where I thought algorithms were headed, where I thought trends were headed. And so on my lunch break, I was just like, I think like Clean Girl has been in, like the Tumblr aesthetic is going to come back in. And that video I remember I posted it on August 29th of 2023. And that video got like 5 million views and changed my life. Wow. So then I started leaning into my trend prediction marketing videos. And I had a lot of like managers reaching out being like, we want to rep you. And the reason I chose the manager I'm still with now is because he was the only person in the meeting that was like, you don't have to gain another follower. You can monetize from this. And then he was like, also, you can make money like going and speaking on panels. Yeah. And I was like, no one brought that up as an option.
Yeah.
So then I signed to them 16th. And then after that, they booked me for Ad Week like a month later in New York City.
Insane.
Yeah. So that's another way that I make money in travel is like, speaking at like Ad Week, Tribeca Film Festival, Cannes Lion, this thing called Possible Miami. And my audience really is like the marketing people. Yeah. Like I always think my audience is like the pink collar girls who like run the marketing and PR things.
Love.
And then like artists and creators will also follow me.
What is it like going to those things and doing that? Like going from BuzzFeed to then like posting videos and then having the video go viral and having your world change. Like to then speaking at Ad Week and other different conferences and panels like that.
It's actually like I love it. I remember the first time I did a conference, it was Ad Week, and I was so nervous that no one was going to show up to my panel because they put me on at the same time as Tinks. And I feel like me and Tinks have a really similar audience. And so I was freaking out. And then I was backstage like getting mic'd, and the guy who was micing me, you could hear like the auditorium doors like opening like da-doon, da-doon, da-doon. And he's like, do you hear that door opening? I'm like, yeah. He's like, those are people showing up for you. And I'm like, oh my God, because I couldn't see the audience yet. And then I came out and it was pretty full. And I was like, oh my God, like this is so cool. And when I was finishing my talk, like people were coming up asking me for photos. And I was like, oh my God, this is like so cool. And also, if you're a creator and you get to go to these events, you should especially Cannes Lion. It's like where the top of the top are, like the marketing executives, the CMOs. Those are the people who are deciding brand deals. And you need to get FaceTime with them. Like you need to be there because they will see you as like, okay, this creator is at a certain level that we can trust them. Yeah. They're of a certain caliber. So like those events were just a way to really like pierce through the noise. Yeah. And I think it really legitimized me because in the beginning when I was doing trend predictions, I'd get a lot of people making videos being like, what are her credentials? Is she really, qualified to be talking about these things? And I'm like, first of all, we're like talking about whether smudge mascara is going to be a trend or not. Like, right. I'm not like putting a man on the moon, but I would get these like videos of even like really people that I looked up to were making videos about me. And at the time I was really stubborn about not saying I worked at BuzzFeed. So I couldn't be like, I actually am qualified. Yeah. So starting to go to these events was a way to kind of like silence them, to be like, no, I am actually, Tribeca Film Festival believes in me. Ad Week believes in me. Cannes Lion believes in me. So actually I am qualified and I don't see you speaking at these panels. So
okay.
Where are you?
So I'm a boss.
Yes, I'm a boss. Yes. So yeah, I would say like if you're a creator and you got to do like panels, always jump on it.
Yeah, that I feel like I have many different questions from that. For one, the whole Cannes Lion of it all.
Yeah.
I was talking to a friend about this recently. Who would you say Cannes Lion is for? Because brands go and spend tons of money. It's always like C-suite celebrities, artists, and stuff like that. Like, who is Cannes for?
Cannes Lion, and like just to clarify because people get confused, it's different from Cannes Film Festival. So Cannes Film Festival is in May and then Cannes Lion's in June. Cannes Lion is for like big advertisers, so that's how it started. So like Pinterest, YouTube, Instagram, they rent out the beach, they have these huge parties, they have like big celebrities perform, and it's basically a way to show, you know, Ford Motors or like Linktree or whoever's in like paying for ad space to be like, we're thriving, like we're spoiling you, like we want this relationship. It's really just them kind of like patting each other on the back, being like, look how successful we are.
Yeah.
It's unlike any other convention I've been to. It is like the highest of the caliber. And now I was one of the first ever creators to go in 2023. I've gone 3 times now, and every year more creators are going, which is really cool. So now it is like more creators are there, but it really is just for the advertisers. It's all of these brands trying to show the advertisers keep giving us money, keep investing in our platforms. And also the way it started out, like 50 plus years ago, it's like the Oscars for commercials. So when you're at Cannes Lion, they have this big auditorium called the Palais, and they have these award shows where it's like the best Super Bowl commercial, the best TikTok commercial, the best this commercial, and they give out Cannes Lion awards. It's like a lion statue if you had the best commercial in your category.
Oh, that's
so it's
cool.
like the Oscars for commercials.
Okay.
That's how it started. And then now it's like this big event where there's like parties. Like this year, I'm so lucky. I got like helicopter to Saint-Tropez for a day. Yeah.
I remember seeing that on your story.
I know. Someone dropped out and they were like, can you get on this helicopter in 23 minutes? I was like, yes.
That's insane. I'm scared to go on helicopters.
I know. I was, but I was like,
when it can.
like, yeah, I was like, like if this is how I go out, like I just want them to emphasize in the headline, like on her way to Saint-Tropez.
No, like that's such a cutty way to go
Featured
out.
creator
like,
on her way to Saint-Tropez. And then like my little sister has like my little like certain like photos that they can use in the posters. So
that's so dystopian.
It is.
Or like morbid.
No, I know, but I'm like, you need like the forehead needs to
like
be a little
serving?
bigger than the Gettys. Yeah.
Would you want your obituary photo faced in?
It needs to be
like snatch,
it needs kiss too.
Okay.
Yeah, thick eyebrows, hair lush one. Yeah, there's like certain
Period.
settings. Yeah.
Love.
Yeah.
When it comes to like you were saying, putting yourself forward in front of like execs or in front of like stakeholders, do you feel like you gotta like really like sell yourself for those?
I don't feel that way, because if you're already having those conversations with them, like they know who you are.
Yeah.
And also luckily the types of videos that I was making, like those were the people that were seeing my videos. So I was always kind of shocked at like, you know, an old man in a suit coming up and like asking me for a selfie. I'm like, that's crazy. Like I'm not making the content for them, but like they're seeing these videos. So I think if you're a creator, like if you're having those convos, I wouldn't, like you're already there.
So you are the pop culture oracle.
Mm-hmm.
Like Coco Mocoe is trade and Coco Mocoe is the pop culture oracle. Do you have any like predictions, or how did you start coming into like predicting specifically trends in that way?
Yeah. So the way I started was because I was at BuzzFeed, and part of my job was to understand where algorithms were headed. So like an example of a prediction I had that came true, and like how because it's not like it's like I'm looking in a crystal ball. There's kind of a science to it.
Yeah.
But for example, I remember I was still working at BuzzFeed, and TikTok had just rolled out the 3-minute feature.
Yeah.
And people were even kind of sketchy on that. They were like, this is a dance app. No one's going to watch longer than a 15-second video. And I was always like, no, people are hungry for like longer content. But then I remember I was in the office one day and I was on one of the BuzzFeed TikTok accounts. And because it's a corporate account, they only had access to the commercial music library.
Yeah.
So like, obviously, you know, you can't use like a Taylor Swift song or whatever. And I remember I would always just go on the different platforms and look at like what features they were rolling out and trying to understand why they were doing certain things. And I remember looking at the commercial music library and I was refreshing it and I could see they were adding 8-minute songs, 9-minute songs. And I was like, why would they be doing that? Like, that's so weird. And I'm like, oh my God, they're about to roll out a 10-minute feature. Yeah. And I was like, and I remember telling some of my coworkers and they were like, there's no way. Like, why would they do that? Like, people are barely even uploading over a minute. And I'm like, no, like, why would they be uploading 9-minute and 8-minute songs unless they're pulling this feature up? So then I made a video about it. And then it wasn't until maybe 6 months later that they announced they were bringing a 10-minute video feature. And later that year, I was at the TikTok office in New York City for something different. And one of the people on their team was like, how did you know about the 10-minute feature? Like, we thought that there was like a leak because only a few developers inside of TikTok's, not even the other employees knew. It was a secret.
Oh, she might have got someone fired.
Right. But they were like, it was only a few developers that were working on this feature. They didn't even want other people to know. And so they were really freaked out because they thought someone had like leaked it. And I explained like it's because of the music library. And they were like, that's so crazy that you knew that. So that's what like I'm really good at is like understanding where things are headed.
What's a prediction that you have for right now? Like what's coming?
Yes. My prediction right now, and I just made a video about this and people, I can tell a prediction's going to come true and people hate it because I'm like, it's a disruptor.
Yeah.
If it's too easy and predictable, it's not going to happen. But
you're not wrong, just early.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. So my prediction is that comment sections are free right now. They're not going to be free anymore.
Really?
They're not going to be free. So the reason I'm saying this is because there is a creator at Substack that Substack told me about who she posts like American history content on Facebook. That's how she got big. And then she launched a Substack and she would copy and paste the exact same articles from Facebook over to Substack. You could read them for free on either platform, but she turned off the comment section on Facebook. And the only way that you can engage or leave your opinion, or if you're mad about something, correct her, whatever it might be, you have to be a paying member of her Substack. $5 million a year.
Are you serious?
Just because people want to comment. The articles are free. $5 million a year because people want to comment on her
That's
posts.
insane.
Comment.
And
yeah.
That makes sense because I feel like culturally, the internet is such a miserable place.
Yes.
And creators are tired.
Exactly. It would prevent burnout. And like, I think that if TikTok, YouTube, Instagram are smart, I know like on YouTube Live, sometimes people can even only comment if they're like a super,
only.
exactly.
Yeah.
So like live streaming is ahead of the curve in that way. But I think that TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, if they're smart, they're going to give creators the opportunity to opt out of free comments, and people can only comment on their post if they're like, they can set the price, $5 a month, whatever. Or it will be like, maybe you're not a subscriber to a Jake Shane, but you really want to say something. You can do $2, Apple Pay quick, you know? And creators will make money that way. The platforms can take a percentage. And then because how I believe people use the internet is they no longer watch videos because they care about what's happening in the video. Like, they really don't care what we have to say all the time. Sometimes they won't even watch the entire video.
Most
like
of the
if it's
time.
like a 3-minute video, like I'm sure people are leaving comments within 10 seconds.
Yeah.
And like when I'm watching videos, the real estate for me is not in the video or the caption or the text on screen. The first thing I do is I open the comment section.
Yeah.
And I'm swayed by what the opinion is, what the things are. And I sometimes have to catch myself like, wait, whoa. But I think
That's so real.
yeah, comments are way more. And that's why I'm so sad that TikTok took away the ability to pin a comment.
I miss it.
Yeah, I miss it. Because I think too many people were promoting like, go watch the episode on other platforms.
Yeah.
I think that's why they put us on timeout and took it away. But I do think that comment sections in 5 years from now are not going to be free.
That's so
And we're going to think it was crazy that it was
Yeah.
free. We're going to be like, that's crazy. Anyone could like comment like and call us ugly.
I wonder how that's going to sway like conversation and just like narrative. Because that means like, because
Yeah.
most people go to comment sections to form their opinions.
Yes.
Like, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
So if the person that's able to like afford to pay.
That's true. Like, would
Is
it be
able to control the
classist?
narrative,
Yeah. I mean, that's a great point. And like the other double-edged sword of that is I will say though that it will prevent bot comments.
Yeah.
Like we now know that there are certain celebrities that use these kind of dirty PR firms that will sway opinions in comment sections. I have my own thoughts on, I think like, I know this is kind of dark. I think that there is some sort of, in my opinion, allegedly bot army working on behalf of David right now with the case,
for sure.
putting blame on her parents,
For sure.
shifting blame.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all these comments, you can tell if it's a bot army, if they look the same, if they're like, they use the same 3 or 4 sentences. And I'm like, this is so weird. So I do think that it could at least help prevent a little bit. Or if you're ever on TikTok and all the comments are like, oh my God, I read this book and it was so life-changing.
Yeah.
I'm like, who knew the book community was like, they're the ones running the dirtiest PR on TikTok.
I think that's so interesting because I just love like the there needs to be like studies on like comment sections.
I know.
Like there needs to be like a college course on like
Yeah.
comment section sociology.
That's so, like, I have chills. Oh my
Like,
God. Like, because I think comment sections are way more influential than the
Yes.
video itself.
Yes.
People don't even finish the video.
They don't.
They
But
don't.
they'll like scroll through the entire comment
And
section.
they'll form their
yeah.
opinion to see what, based on what the top 5 comments
Yeah.
are. Fully. That's what happens.
It's crazy.
It's really interesting. Yeah. And I mean, even we see it with like Reddit. Like I myself am guilty. Like if I'm watching a reality show, I can't just watch it and form my own opinion. I have to go on the Reddit page and be like, what are people saying about this episode?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's kind of like why, in my opinion, I feel like Yap TikTok has blown up so much because it's just like video format of comment sections for better and worse.
Where they're giving their opinion on shows and stuff. Yeah, like my videos where I was talking about Love Island would get like 400,000 views in like an hour. I'm like, what? Like that's crazy. But it's because people wanted a comment section because they can't comment on Peacock app.
Exactly.
So if you posted to like your videos reacting, like I know you post videos like that, reacting to specific scenes in Euphoria or Peacock. Part of the reason they're going viral is because you're giving people a comment section because they can't go on the HBO app and leave a comment.
Actually.
Yeah.
Because like none of the comments are really about the video itself. It's always about like their own reactions or own thoughts about it. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Isn't it
crazy.
interesting? So imagine if people had to pay $2 to leave a comment.
Have you ever been wrong for your trend predictions?
Yes, I've definitely been wrong. I'm trying to think of like an example. I even tell my audience too, I'm like, you know, it's not always about it being like right or wrong too. I just love when I put out a prediction and it makes people think about their content in a new way or like think about where it could head.
That's what I really like about your content. Like, I feel like it always gets me thinking and it like inspires so much like deeper thought. Like, I think a lot of my video ideas stems from a Coco Mocoe TikTok. I'm like, wait a second, that could go into that, and I could go to like the classism with the comments.
Yes,
like,
that could be a whole video.
Yeah.
You could do like a whole like episode of this on the comment section, and how like Gen Z's influenced by comments. But I like really can't think of an example. Maybe I'm always right.
Like, I can't remember last time I was
even
wrong.
Like, no, not me making about me being right, but even like there was a time where I was predicting that I felt like, and you would think I'm like an investor in Substack. I'm not. I just really believe in it. But I was making videos about Substack blowing up, and then like a year later, Charlie XCX launched a Substack, Lizzo, and I'm like, okay, like I was right.
You're one of the first people that I
mentioned
heard were on Substack.
Thank you. Yeah. But I mean, maybe like, okay, I will say, I did think that 10-minute videos on TikTok would be way more popular, especially because they were popular because Risa Tisa blew up, who the F did I marry, because she was doing live streams and then breaking them down into 10-minute segments. She went really viral doing that. And I'm like, okay, we're going to see like 20 more Risa Tisas using 10-minute feature. That never happened. Like, I think also the TikTok algorithm, for whatever reason, never pushed 10-minute videos in the feed.
Yeah.
I wish they did. I like longer videos. Like, if I'm brushing my teeth in the morning and I like open my TikTok and I see a video's like a longer like thought analyst, I put my phone down, I brush my teeth, and I'm so could have found it on my phone. I'm like, yes, thank God I found a long video.
I think they are still being really popular though.
They are. Okay.
Because the creator, you know, Widlin.
No, I'll have to look him up.
He does like Love Island breakdowns.
Whoa.
And he has like a whole series called 10 at a Time.
Wait, is it like not Walden or something, or not Wilden?
Yeah,
okay, that's I remember. And yes, and then people were like, I remember he was at Cannes Lion and people were like, when we needed him most, he disappeared because Peacock's blocked in France. I remember that. Okay, yes.
Did you see him there?
I didn't see him, but I remember people being like, where his breakdowns of the new episodes, and then they realized that he was in France and he couldn't watch Love Island.
That's terrible.
I know, right?
Or get the VPN.
But he does. I know, right? But he does 10-minute videos.
Yeah. Like, he has a whole series called 10 at a Time where he'll talk about either Love Island or just like a random like podcasty kind of topic. Yeah. And they do well.
Yeah, I've seen them. Okay, so that's good to know because I love, like, I'm such a talker too. I wish I could talk for like 30 minutes about a topic, but you have to cut yourself up when it's only like 3 minutes.
Yeah. This is less for y'all and more for me. What do you think about long form being pushed so much on TikTok when there are like long form platforms that pay more, like YouTube or even Facebook sometimes?
I think that long form, like, I really do lean towards TikTok as a viewer because even though obviously there's YouTube and podcasting, which we both do, this is how I describe TikTok and why I think long form people consume content there versus going and watching the person's podcast. When you're on other platforms like YouTube, especially podcasting, the ability to be suggested new podcast episodes is awful on all platforms. So when you're on other platforms, even Instagram, looking for a new creator, you're in like the driver's seat. Like you have to get in the car, you have to know the destination. You have to know, I want to see a video on this topic. I want to see this specific creator. It's really hard to find new people that way. But if you're on TikTok, and this is what they created with the For You page and why it was like revolutionary, it was the first time you were like a passenger princess. You got in the car, you didn't know what the destination was going to be. You didn't know how long you were going to be in the car. All you had to do was look out the window and enjoy the view. And if you didn't like the view, you scroll to the next view. And so I think that's why long form, any form of media thrives on TikTok, because you can watch it passively. Whereas like for me, I might want to watch a long form breakdown of Love Island USA, but when I'm searching that on YouTube, sometimes the algorithm isn't always suggesting me the right videos, or they're suggesting me shorts, which are, even on YouTube, I feel like shorts under a minute are really the only ones that perform. So even then you're not like getting long form on YouTube. Even when you're searching for certain topics. I do love long form podcasts and YouTube, but I think it's just TikTok is really good at feeding you the right algorithm.
Now, what do you think about like ultra long form with like streaming?
Yeah,
because we were talking a little bit before about that potentially being the future. Do you see that as like the next big thing?
Yes, I think that streaming is for sure, because, and I say that as someone who's terrified to stream. Like, I don't want to stream.
Me too.
Yeah, it's terrifying, but it's because now as the internet and just entertainment has evolved, I always say like audiences don't want to be entertained anymore. They want companionship.
Yeah.
They might have House of the Dragons episode on their TV that cost $63 million to make. They're not looking at it. They're looking at their phone. They're scrolling on their phone. They don't really care about it. Audiences actually don't care about high quality as much as we think they would. I mean, obviously, I think having pride in your work is important, but audiences want companionship. And that's why Love Island is so popular, because there's no other reality show out that puts 6 episodes out a week.
Yeah.
And they are running circles around the, like, I love Bravo, but like their shows are filmed 6 months before.
Right.
And like, even then, with Love Island, it's coming out immediately or within, 72 hours of it actually happening, maybe even shorter. And I think that's an example of audiences leaning towards live streaming. They want things instantly.
Yeah.
It's like Love Island is similar to a sports game where audiences are watching it happen in real time. They're sometimes involved in the votes and stuff. So I think that reflects in creators and live streaming, where we were saying this earlier. Like, I think that like Gen Alpha and younger Gen Z in 3 to 5 years, they're going to think it's so outdated and cringe to like film a TikTok and post it 30 minutes later. They're going to be like, it's outdated.
Right.
Like that's like the equivalent of the millennial pause, is like filming a TikTok and posting it a little bit later. That's going to be like the Gen Z pause. Gen Alpha and them, they want immediate companionship. And like, even if
social
you're
maxing.
Exactly. Even for me, like I'll watch YouTube videos or live streams while I'm working where it's like someone in a coffee shop, like playing lo-fi music.
Yeah.
And I just want to be in the room with someone. They don't need to be producing a $63 million episode of them on a dragon. So I think live streaming is because people really want companionship. They don't care about entertainment.
That's so interesting, because I think, like, to what you're saying, the barrier to like what people will watch keeps getting lower and lower.
Yes.
Because like going from movies to TV to then like long form produced content to then just like long form, just like vlogs to then short form. Like it keeps going lower and lower. And like the more produced it feels, the less authentic and the less like companionship vibes you kind of get.
Yeah, because I think it makes them feel like, again, there was some sort of like creative wall in between when it's happening and when they're getting it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think also part of that is like Gen Z, Gen Alpha also grew up. There was those, years where they were really isolated. Even me, I'm like on the cusp, Gen Z and millennial. And I really feel like there's like no third spaces. Like it's really hard to socialize. And so these groups of people and ages want companionship more than ever, because they had formative years where they were on Zoom and couldn't see their friends or form those relationships, or they didn't go to a graduation.
Yeah.
So like, I think they're so afraid of not having companionship.
That's what they want.
Yeah, and it's a safe way to explore it because they're just watching someone. They don't have to actually interact back.
Exactly. I'm just imagining the day that we go to like an event and everyone just like has their phone live streaming the event. It's like,
yeah,
ooh.
and it's starting to happen.
Yeah.
Like, and also what's interesting about streamers is they also are paying thousands of dollars a month to have people clipping it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think clipping culture is so interesting.
I
Like,
am
that's a
really
whole-
fascinated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a whole campaign. Like Clippers make so much money from it.
They do, yeah. And I think it's smart
Yeah.
because like it looks like it came from like a random
fan.
fan account. Yeah.
I kind of hate that.
I know.
Like, who actually is like famous or clouded? Or
I know.
how do you know? Like, how do you cut through the noise in today's
So-
day? Like, finding someone that is actually famous and blowing up when there is so much artificial buzz.
Yeah, that's such a good question because a lot of my podcasts, when I'm not doing like solo marketing episodes, I'm having on people that I think are about to get famous. And one of the main things that I look for, well, there's two things. One, it doesn't matter how good they are at their craft or their art, they have to have a repeatable look.
Yeah.
And I know it sounds superficial, but it's like packaging. Like you have to have, like one of my videos that went viral is like Hollywood hair theory. Like a lot of artists become famous when they have a certain hair that they lock down. Like Michael Jackson, you have Marilyn Monroe, when Sabrina Carpenter, look at videos when she had the blonde bombshell hair from before.
Yeah.
Chappell Roan, when she dyed her hair maroon red versus before. There's so many artists that blow up once they like really have a repeatable look. So that branding, if I'm like following an artist and I think they're doing something interesting, I won't reach out or have them on my show if I don't think that they're doing something repeatable visually, because it means that they haven't. It takes time, by the way, too. Like you're not going to wake up and just know. It usually the repeatable look will happen like accidentally or whatever it might be. And then you're like, oh, that worked. That made sense for me. So they have to have a repeatable look. And then the second thing is social proof. So they have to have other people talking about them or co-signing them who aren't in their immediate circle. So like, for example, like I knew an Alex Earl was going to blow up because it's not like, oh, like her sister Ashton made a video being like, my sister's going to get popular. It was because other TikTokers, even random people that weren't famous, would be like, oh, I bought this light because Alex Earl, it's the Alex Earl light. And I'm like, okay, so other people are talking about them from a third person perspective who have no horse in the race. So they have to have some sort of social proof. However, now that is in some ways being manufactured too, because record labels know that. So they'll pay creators or they'll pay media brands to be like, oh my God, this artist is going to have the album of summer, but they don't actually think that. So it is harder to sometimes detect.
That is crazy. Do you feel like, I think this happens a lot in our sector of the internet. Have you ever?
I've never taken a deal like that.
Really?
Yeah, I've been propositioned by even huge artists that I love that I make videos about organically. And my team, we like went through, we had concepts for the video, and then their team was like, oh, by the way, you cannot disclose that this is an ad. And my team was like, we have to. And they were like, then don't run it. Then don't post it. If you're going to put like a paid partnership or even hashtag ad at the end of the caption, don't post it.
So it's like fully inauthentic, like organic content.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's called narrative seeding.
How often do you think that's happening?
I honestly don't know. I mean, I haven't taken those deals. I will say I do get a lot of reach outs for my podcast of people being like, I will pay you to like either make a TikTok saying I'm going to be famous or like having me on. But I think that it is actually quite common. I feel like a lot of people, like if you see like a creator randomly making a video about an artist and they're like, they're going to have the album of summer, or I'm like, huh?
No, I feel like a lot of people just say things and I'm like, where did you get that opinion from?
Exactly. Or they'll know a specific piece of information that isn't public yet.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, how do they know unless someone fed it to them? How else would they know that that's going to happen, or that they know this celebrity is going to be a cameo in their music video unless they were told before?
Yeah. Do you feel like that sort of like marketing actually produces longevity for these artists?
I think it does.
Really?
I do think that the art still has to be good. Like there's a saying in marketing that's like, don't make people want to buy things, make things people want to buy. And it's like, ultimately, there's only so much we can do as marketers. Like you still have to have a good product. Yeah. I've even had people reach out that want to have me consult. And if I really don't believe in the product, I'm like, I don't say that to them, but I really have to believe in the product and what they're doing. But I think it can actually yield results if the product is still good. Yeah.
Who would you say, not to be messy, who would you say is like the most recent artist that you feel like is running off of the payola of it all, or the seeded narrative?
Ooh. All of them? No, just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Why is it somber?
But I will say, like, Somber genuinely has such good music that I'm like, you know, that's why sometimes if their music is so good, I'm like, it's okay. Like, do what you need to do.
Amen.
But I mean, I have a couple artists I don't think I should say, but I do know because I know people that, not that I'm judging anyone who takes the money, but like they're getting
Taking
paid
money,
to
yeah.
say those things. Yeah.
I remember back in the day being like 2023, whenever Tate McRae was releasing her
Oh
album.
yeah, baby, you're so greedy.
Yeah, it was for her song X's.
Oh yeah.
I think her label, I think either came from her label or from YouTube working with their label, where like, make a video of you dancing to the song and acting like you love it.
Yeah,
Man.
that's one way you can tell is like, I don't even know if it would count as like secret payola, but yeah, TikTok and then we'll send out those like chance to win $200. I'm like, baby, bye. But they're like, make a dance, and if you have this many views, maybe you'll get $200.
Right.
But yeah, that's how you know that the song's being promoted, when they're like, if you make a video to this song, which
By the
is
way,
so
I hate
common.
those. I hate those sort of
The
campaigns.
fake challenges.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they're everywhere. Like
Yeah.
if once you notice they're happening, you see it everywhere on TikTok.
Yeah.
Like, especially like bigger creators too.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see them like randomly dancing to a random song you never heard before.
Yes.
I'm like, oh, okay, they're trying to put us on. No, girl, they're trying to get that $500. Like,
Right. No, and I have actually heard of some pretty big creators. I'll find out like how they'll have millions of followers and they'll be like, yeah, I got like $800. I'm like, 800 after taxes, baby. That's not even 1/4 of your rent money.
No.
Like what? Like, why would you even accept that? Because then if you accept a little bit of money, the label's always going to undersell you.
Right. And
Like, I'd rather not get paid until it feels right
exactly.
than take $500 here and there.
And I want to hear your take on this, but I feel like for bigger creators too, y'all kind of like hold the purse for the creator economy. Because if a huge creator with millions of followers takes a booty deal, that means that creators that are lesser than are going to also get like chips
Yes.
underneath that. Like, you kind of got to take the biggest deal so that everyone else can kind of get paid. Like, it's like trickle down creator economics.
Yes, right.
Because why would they
the Reagan
pay?
of it all.
Yeah, why would please?
But yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
That's why I love, some people judge, like, I mean, I have my own thoughts and opinions on Alex Cooper. She's so complex and interesting to me. But like, that's why I love when an Alex Cooper or like a Jay Shetty takes like $100 million deal. Because I'm like, hell yes. Like, they're like at least swinging for the big bucks, and that moves the meter for creators. So I do think that I do love when there's headlines about how much creators are getting paid, and I know people feel like it's like a ridiculous amount, but I'm like, that is crazy. Especially like, again, I have my own thoughts on Alex Cooper, but her consistently taking such big payouts is great for female podcasters because she's like moving the needle
for sure.
So there are times like that, but I do think that's why I think long form and like podcasting is way more valuable than TikTok.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, it's harder to go. It's harder to like get your videos going. Like, trust me, I'm like, can you see me or hear me or hear me or see me? But it's so worth it.
I always say that, like, I feel like as someone that like is a long form first creator and tries to do like the short form thing as well, I see short form as like day trading and long form as like 401k.
Ooh, like real
investment.
estate.
You know?
Yeah, it's like you own like an apartment complex.
Yeah,
yes.
because I think for short form, like even for like payouts, like you need to constantly be posting.
Yeah.
For long form, if you have like a couple of hit videos that are seasonal, you get an annual
You're
paycheck.
So right.
Like
You're
a check every month,
right.
whether you post or not.
I know you're like a TikTok is like DraftKings. It's like, maybe I'll make $20 on this Laker game. Not that I've ever done that, but that's such like a perfect analogy. And like the thing that I always say to clients or whatever is, I'm like, short form has more chances to go viral, but it has like, the shorter the video, the shorter the object permanence.
Yeah.
So like, yes, I actually don't think it's that impressive to get like 1 million views on TikTok, because if I ask you, what's the last 10 TikTok or Instagram Reels or YouTube Shorts you watch? What was the name of the creator? How, like, what was the topic? What was the caption? What did you learn? You wouldn't be able to tell me.
Yeah.
But if I asked you what's the last podcast you listened to, you would tell me who it was by, what the topic was, what you learned from it, why you clicked on it. So like, the longer the content, the longer the object permanence. So, yeah, I think like short form is, yes, it feels good to go viral, but it's so quick.
It's so quick.
Yeah, so it's like watered down.
And that's what I kind of hate about TikTok too, because I feel like when people talk about things, when they are based on what they learned from TikTok, they don't remember who they heard it from, what it was about, but they remember like a vibe or like a zinger that the TikToker said, like the hook.
Yeah.
And they'll run like that. That's like Bible.
Yes.
Like specifically with like dating advice. I hate dating advice TikTok.
Oh my God. See, I eat it up because I'm single. So I'm like, I need all the help I can get.
No, girl, me too. But I'm like, y'all just remember the zingers and didn't remember all of the discourse that went
Yes.
after the 2-second hook.
I know. They're always like, if he wanted to, he would.
Right. And they're like, well, actually, but like, most people don't actually work like that. But like, if you wanted to actually build a relationship, then maybe like, wait, give him some time. But like, you only
Yes.
heard if you wanted to, he would.
I
So
know.
you run with
Because
that.
again, people aren't watching the full video. They're reading the
Exactly.
comments and then moving on. So they just remember the zingers.
Yes.
But that's why I will say, like, going viral on TikTok, it's so important. Like, my most viral TikToks are when I have a title for something. Like, one of the videos that really changed my life was when I was doing those Hollywood hair theory videos. Like, that, I will have people come up to me now 2 years later and be like, I changed my hair because of Hollywood hair theory. Having
iconic.
a title.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did her big one with that one. Like, Hollywood hair theory is that girl. And like, having these titles, like, is also a way for a creator to like create their own IP and like build out like that. That's why there's this huge legal battle right now with the hot girl walks of it all.
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah. And I actually like am really fascinated by that because a lot of people are mad at the creator of Hot Girl Walks, Maya Lind. But I actually understand why she's being litigious because it was Tinks who got on the Forbes top creator list 2 years in a row. And in her bio said that she was the inventor of the Hot Girl Walk. That was the first sentence.
Really?
And I had a conversation with Forbes because they had to issue a correction on one of their creator lists that came out because they'd made a mistake that I caught in a TikTok video that I didn't know would go viral, but it did. And I had a conversation with Forbes and I'm like, you guys credited Tinks with hotgirlwalk.com or like Hot Girl Walk. I was like, she actually didn't invent that. I was like, it's a creator named Maya Lind. She posted her first video in January. Tinks didn't post about it until March. And I was like, Maya Lind owns the domain hotgirlwalk.com. So did Tinks take money away from Maya Lind?
Yeah.
So people are mad at Maya Lind for being litigious, but I actually think it was kind of smart.
I think it's smart, but also like, she didn't invent the hot girl
She
shit
did,
either.
yeah.
That was Megan.
Oh wait, you're right, Hot
Yeah,
Girl.
Hot
You're
Girl
right,
Summer,
Hot Girl.
yeah.
Yes, that's so
That's
true.
like my whole take with the whole
Wait,
thing.
I
Like,
didn't.
I
Yeah, you're
understand that,
right.
but like she copied that off of Megan Thee Stallion. Like,
And also, so many artists now try to have a summer because of Megan Thee Stallion.
Yes.
She should have like copyrighted Summer.
she should like.
She really like set the tone.
She
And
really
people
did.
always credit Charlie with Brat Summer being like the first, but I'm like, I actually think
It
Megan.
was the hot girl summer. Yeah.
Yeah, huh.
Same thing with like the cellas. Like that was Beyonce. Who
You're right,
started that.
Beychella. Yes, I was there. You're so right.
Like you were there. You
I
were
was
in the
there.
video.
I was supposed to be in the video, but I was in Miami. Mhm.
Amen.
Yeah, but I was in Miami. We're referencing a Madison Beer quote. But I actually had that director, Hannah Lex Davis, for the Thank You Next music video on my podcast. And I asked her, I was like, was Madison Beer supposed to be in the video? And she goes, yeah, but she was in Florida. She
Miami.
couldn't come in. I'm like, oh my God, it aligns.
real,
It was
yes.
real.
Say
Not
what
that
you
I
want about
doubted
her, but
it.
she
But
does not lie.
she does
Like,
not lie. Yeah.
I wanted
But
to ask
yeah.
you, Hollywood hair theory
Yes.
and all of that. You've had a rebrand as of recently. Do you take that into account for yourself? And what do you think is your thing that is that has changed about you that's made you your Hollywood hair, your identifiable trait?
Yes. It's so funny because I never think of myself as like a public figure. I always say like I don't necessarily need to be the most talented person in the room. I think I'm just good at spotting talent and I'm okay with that. But it's so funny because my bob definitely is like identifiable now. And that wasn't on purpose. I actually cut my hair because like 2 years ago I had such long hair and I actually to this day I would still get videos that are like, oh, like who's that girl that does trend predictions? And the comments are like, oh, the girl with like smudge mascara and greasy bangs, that's Coco Mocoe. And they're like, yes, thank you. I'm like, wait, why was that the identifier? Why was that the identifier? Like, what do you mean? Not the 2 for 2 shots, but like, anyways. So I used to have long hair and then I, and my mascara was often smudged, but I was,
It's camp.
thank you. And it
Yes.
kind of matches my vibe. I am a little messy, but I had a relationship for a long time and it was actually right before we broke up, like the day before. I had long hair since college. I would take biotin. Like I wanted my hair to be so long. It was half of it was dead. I didn't care. I was like, I want it to be long. And then I woke up one day and I had this urge to just chop it all off. And I literally called a hair salon near me and I'm like, do you have any appointments? I just want to like get a bob. And they're like, yeah. I go in, get my hair cut off. And then the next morning, literally the next morning, my relationship of almost 4 years, I found out that he had been cheating and we broke up that morning. And I swear it was like spiritual. I think I like cut off the memory of that relationship. Like when I had this crazy urge to cut my hair, it was like my soul knew that something was, I was shedding something. So anyways, I did it more as just like an impulsive thing. And then it was after that where I noticed the bob was identifiable, and even to the point where if I go out like to the Grove or whatever, I only get approached and recognized if if I have my hair in a bun, no one recognizes me. Very rarely people will recognize me from my voice. Like if they hear me talking, they're like, oh, I knew your voice. But for the most part, I only get approached if I have my bob.
Wow.
Yeah. So it happened
bob.
on accident. Yeah. But in terms of branding, when I started filming my podcast, Middle Row, which I always say, like, it's not famous yet, but it will be. Like, I was obsessed with Chicken Shop Day and like Hot Ones because they would have this unique setting. For Sean Evans, it's like in a black room with these spotlights. For Amelia Dims, it's like in a chicken shop. And I just wanted a setting that felt really unique, and I feel like movie theaters are a really happy place for people. So if they start associating me with a movie theater, I'll have a halo effect, and like even if they don't love me, they'll have like a positive association with my brand. And I just think like
I think the red chairs whenever
the red, thank you. Yeah, like red branding now like is really me. And I was actually really adamant before I started filming at Spotify's movie theater. I was on Peerspace looking for movie theaters, and we were touring a couple. I was adamant that they had to have red seats because visually I just imagined, I love this visual element of me and the guest being swallowed by the red.
Yeah.
Like I just think there's something really cool about that. And so yeah, I think movie theater branding is something I'm way more intentional about.
Yeah.
The hair was accidental.
Oh.
Yeah. I wasn't even thinking Hollywood Hair Theory when I cut my hair.
That's interesting.
If anything, I was probably like, I'm known for long hair, but yeah, it didn't really cross
I can't even remember you without the bob.
I know. It was, I had the long hair, but.
Well, getting into movies. Yeah. Movies are a sensitive topic.
Why?
Recently, did you or did you not get canceled by the film community?
Oh, I did. Wait, yeah. I got like really badly canceled.
Really?
But it was a camp cancellation.
Are you comfortable with sharing?
I'm totally fine with this. Yeah.
What happened with that? Because I'm teeing up for something else. But
okay.
Yeah.
So I had this artist Slater on, and that was actually such a good episode too. And so in my podcast, when I'm interviewing artists, we'll watch their music videos and they'll talk me through like what's happening. And in her music video, she had this like bunny, like she's obsessed with bunnies because in a David Lynch film, he had a short film within the movie where it was like these bunny people.
Yeah.
And so in the interview, she's like, David Lynch. And I go, who's David Lynch?
Oh.
And you guys, you would have thought I committed a war crime.
Right.
And you know what's funny? That didn't even make the final YouTube edit. The Slater interview, she was going so viral. So what I did is I went back to the raw files that I have of our interview because we work with a YouTube editor. So sometimes they'll edit things out. I went back to the raw file and I like left everything on the field. I milked every single second of that interview.
Yeah.
And so defending my honor, my editor had taken out where I said, who's David Lynch? And I was not understanding like how massive he is in the film community. And yeah, I do have a podcast in a movie theater, but I will say, like,
to be fair, I don't know who David Lynch is. I still don't to this day.
Thank you. He's a big like film director, but a lot of good came out of that because one, that clip went really viral, and yes, I did become a think piece, and I would get videos on my feed where people were about to like stitch it, or I like had to scroll. I'm like, oh my God, they're about to talk about me.
I hate that. Yeah.
Even like journalists, which it's their right, journalists were making videos about or posts and stuff about how stupid I am. But I feel like, number one, actually Slater, in the middle of her Coachella sets, it goes for 2 weekends. I remember that week she sent me a really long text being like, I hope you're like so proud of the episode. Like, don't listen to these people. Like, you asked me questions no one's ever asked me before. And David Lynch would be so happy that you are like accidentally putting all these Gen Z kids onto him because of this clip. So, but also I think like as a podcaster too, I might sometimes know the answer to things, but it's my job to ask the person because the audience might not know. Like if I'm interviewing you, like I might know where you grew up, but my audience doesn't know. So I have to ask you. And sometimes I'll even tell people before we start filming, like, I'm going to ask, I know these answers, by the way. I don't want you to think I didn't research, but I need to ask you so the audience can understand.
Right.
And then also like I was like sad for like one day. I remember I was at Coachella when I was getting canceled. And
That's so camp, by the way.
it was camp. It was a camp
Like,
cancellation.
yes.
It was so campy.
Canceled at Coachella. Like,
Canceled at Coachella for not
be like
knowing who
Tana
David
Mojo.
Lynch
You
is.
should have like a full canceled sash.
Yes. No, I know. I'm like, it's like a Lana Del Rey album titled "Cancel at Coachella for not knowing who David Lynch is."
Please.
But I like got home from Coachella and I made a video and I was just like a little upset and stuff. And then people were like, she doesn't deserve her podcast. And I'm like, actually, I do deserve it because I'm like, I fund it.
Yeah.
It's not like I was plucked out of obscurity and someone's like, we're going to put you in a movie theater. Like, I'm the one who is putting myself, I'm paying my crew.
Right.
Like, I've been working at it for 3 years. And I say, like, you know, I'm interviewing new celebrities. My brain might not have room to get the first interview with Adela, which I did, or Eli, Journal of a Doll. My brain wouldn't have known to interview them if my brain also knew who David Lynch was. Like, I'm a modern woman,
Yes,
you know?
yes.
But yeah, so then my manager calls me and he knows me well enough now and he's like, hey, like, I can't tell if you're actually upset or like, are you leaning into it because it's so ridiculous? And I'm like, it's kind of both. Like, it's making the episode more viral. And like, also, I just think it is kind of camp. And actually, the most random thing that happened from all this is there's this like really famous playwright named Jeremy O. Harris. And he wrote this Tony winning play called Slave Play. He actually, it was so random. He like posted an Instagram story that I got tagged in and he was defending me. Yeah. And he's like, I actually think it's way cooler that someone is admitting that they don't know something. I think it's so annoying that now everyone just acts like they know everything all the time.
Yeah.
Like, it's way more punk rock that someone admits they don't know something. And I was like, oh my God, thank you. And I did notice the heat died off kind of when he actually said something because I reposted it. And then he invited me to a movie that night.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yes. So something good came out of it. But but now I know who David Lynch is.
And now
And
you
he's
do.
a director.
We're social media people, and we're always online. And when it comes to like predictions, accuracy is important because you need that sort of social proof. How do you balance like being chronically online with getting your predictions accurate? Like, how do you know it's like not just a niche thing that you're seeing on your For You pages?
I like sometimes I will make a video about a topic and I'm like, oh, it didn't really like hit because I'm like, maybe this is like really niche. But I do spend a lot of time online because I think like in order to be someone who understands algorithms, like I have to like obviously consume a lot and like I want to know what's going through a viewer's mind. So I have to be a viewer myself. But I will say, like, I don't know if this is fully answering your question. I actually am really particular about, I don't like to consume other people's content that's too similar to me. Like, we have so many friends that are in this space and I love, and they make great content. And when they post a brand deal, I'm like the first one commenting and reposting. But I'm terrified of accidentally copying someone or like subconsciously copying others. So you'd be surprised. I actually don't really consume a ton of content if I feel like someone is making content that we're in the same kind of niche. Yeah.
Interesting.
I get terrified of like, I just want to be inspired by people that make content that's so different from me. And I'm like, how do I bring that format over to like pop culture or marketing?
Right.
Yeah.
But like when it comes to just like things that you're seeing online that like are like repeatable things, like you're saying for like the 10-minute video stuff.
Yeah.
If that was something that you were just seeing on like some pockets of the internet, like how do you know it's not just a fluke or not just like a one-off thing and it's like something that could be bigger? It
would be like a huge part of it is like I was saying earlier, like social proof. However, it's if they're getting covered by publications. So like for Risa Tisa, you knew she was about to blow up because news articles and stuff started talking about it. So that's why, or there's like a really cool Instagram account called People Brand Things, and they'll post about like certain things that are happening online. And I'm like, okay, so it's kind of like just outside of only my echo chamber.
Yeah.
So yeah, if people are starting to like report on it, but also you can kind of just tell by like how many views things have. Like if it really is going pretty viral, like if it has like over 100,000 likes on TikTok, I'm like, okay, this is like going pretty viral.
Yeah.
Or even like 100,000 views on YouTube, I feel like is a lot on YouTube. Yeah.
So I think like 1 million views is like equivalent to like however many on other platforms.
Yeah, I feel like 1 million followers on TikTok is equivalent to like 100,000 on YouTube or like 10,000 on Substack.
Because some platforms are just like hard to grow on.
I know. They really are. Like I feel like even like Instagram I've started to grow again, but like some of them it's like the like, can you see me or hear me or hear me, see me? I'm like, what am I doing wrong? You know, you just never know.
It's so weird because it's like the same people on all the platforms.
Yeah.
Like
and
the algorithms.
Yeah. I also think too, though, there was like a huge growth spurt when TikTok came around, especially when it got big, like between 2020 and 2023, where audiences were downloading the app and they were hungry to follow new creators. So there were some days where I was getting like 50,000 followers a day.
Yeah.
And now, because audiences know that, like, I almost think followers don't matter as much, because all platforms now have like pretty good passive viewing, where it's like the For You page or the Reels or whatever it might be, and audiences know they actually don't have to follow people anymore.
And it actually disincentivizes you from following, because like you never see their stuff again.
I've actually had some people where I'm like, wait, I love their content so much, if I follow them, I'm only going to see them on the following tab, and I don't use that.
The following tab feels so ghetto. I'm sorry.
I know, why
like,
does it feel it's because they show you people's videos like right when they get posted.
Yeah.
And I get embarrassed. Like if I see a mutual like my video and it only has 3 likes, I'm like, oh my God, that's so embarrassing. They think I'm
local.
a flop. Yeah, it's so local. It's very local. But I just think also we're in a period online where audiences are not following new creators, except like, again, it just the theme of the episode on accident, except when you have a new platform come around like Substack, where people are like, oh my God, I've never been on this platform. Like I need to follow like the creators that are like doing it. And so like I noticed like Substack people will follow it.
I wish that like the industry would keep up with that. Because I think that it's fine for like a creator to like think like, okay, followers don't really matter because people don't follow. But like when it comes to like getting brand deals or getting invited to certain things, like follower count is still like the gold standard for like how you're doing as a creator.
Yeah. And I have a prediction about following actually. And I've made this prediction. And again, maybe this is actually something that hasn't come true, but I do think it will. I think that in like 3 to 5 years, algorithms are going to roll out what I call ghost metrics. So you're actually not going to be able to see how many people, like you're never going to be able to look at a creator's account and know how many followers they have, how many views they're getting. I think that it's all going to be like hidden, because even when you go on like a Netflix, you don't know how many views necessarily the shows are getting. Yeah. And they could say, oh, this show is trending, but like, is it actually? There's
like, how do you know?
Yeah, like sometimes in their quarterly analytics, they'll like say the numbers, but again, they're self-disclosing. But I think that it will encourage creators to post more experimental content if there's no public metrics. And then a reason I think platforms would do it, you can still see the metrics on the back end. So like if you need to do a brand deal, they can go in and look. Yeah. Or what's going to happen is like if an Instagram and a YouTube and a TikTok allow creators to opt out of public metrics, a brand might have to then pay a TikTok to see
get those metrics.
The metrics. Yeah. So like brands and stuff would pay to access internal metrics. Yeah. So it would be a way for the platforms to monetize. And then I think also like the reason Snapchat is really big with Gen Z, I personally don't love Snapchat, but it's because it's the only platform with ghost metrics. Yeah. So unless your video on Spotlight or whatever has so many views, no one knows how many views you're getting. So like there's people like Gen Z creators that post 1 million Snapchat stories, and they can be more free and experimental with it because they're not worried about what it's going to look like to others. Yeah.
That's so interesting. I could see Instagram being the first platform to like fully do that.
Yeah, because they got away. You can hide likes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hide likes, hide views.
Yeah.
I think they just released like the Instagram Plus.
Oh, yeah, where you have to like sometimes pay to see all the people that watch your story, for example. And I think that's why people love Insta stories, because it's ghost metrics. Yeah, you can post and no one knows how many views you're getting. So people are experimental in stories and more genuine with their audience, because they're not like worried about, oh my God, if I post this video on TikTok about what I just bought at Erewhon, it's only going to get 1,000 views. On their stories, they don't care.
Right. So if you were to do this all again, like start it from scratch in 2026, how would you go about building your brand and how would you go about marketing yourself?
Okay, so if I was starting out in 2026, I think that I would start out with long form, because I just think creators that have long form successful podcasts, although I guess that's hard to say though, because even long form, they have to get exposure by doing short form now. Yeah. So like even podcasters or TikTokers now, but I would emphasize long form. I think that, I don't know if this is like necessarily a bad thing, but something I've noticed I've been doing, so the 2023 version of me was posting so much content because she was home. I also think there's, and this will loop back to 2026, but there's a saying, it's in 2 books. It's in Rick Rubin's The Creative Act and also Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert, who wrote Eat, Pray, Love. And they both reference this concept that you have to be bored in order for creativity to find you. Yeah. And you have to have moments where you allow yourself to like sit with silence. And I think the last like 2 years of my career, I had been prioritizing going to events, getting invited to things, like, and I wasn't making content at the events all the time. Like, I was just going selfishly, but my audience, they don't care if I'm at this event or not. And when I was really like doing my big one in like 2023 and 2024, it's because I was home. I was bored. At the time, I was living in my hometown of Long Beach, so I wasn't like as busy in LA. I had a lot of downtime and I was just killing the game. So I think now, like, I think that I need to like bake into my schedule those moments of stillness and boredom to allow myself to be creative, because I'm so busy now that I actually do think my content suffers because it's hard to make content when you're always like on planes or this and that. And I think that's why also audiences, and I understand, they'll say like creators become like out of touch or out of reach, because I do think like we become so busy, it's hard to sit with our audience. So I think if I was doing it again, I would really just appreciate that window of time where you are bored and you are at home just wanting to entertain yourself and make content and connect. And I wish I still had that kind of in me.
Do you think it's still possible to like blow up from scratch at this point? Because I think people say all the time, like the best time to be a creator was like 4 years ago.
100%. There's always going to be a time to blow up. And the example I use is like Emma Chamberlain, one of the biggest YouTubers. She didn't post her first YouTube video until 10 years after the platform had been invented in 2017. So with TikTok, for example, TikTok's only been around, or at least been popular, since 2020. We're only 6 years in. Who knows who Emma Chamberlain of TikTok's going to be in 2030? So as long as there's still a Wi-Fi connection and your phone has a front-facing camera, like anyone can go viral. Like, I actually hate it so much when someone's like, no, like there's no way to blow up now. Like, that's not true. Audiences are always hungry for content. Audiences want new stuff, and I actually think there's a really cool like glimmer in their eye that new creators have, like when they just start blowing up, where they haven't really been jaded by trends or algorithms. And they, like Risa Tisa, like she was live streaming and then cutting those down into 10-minute clips. If she had consulted with a marketing firm before doing that, they would have told her, you're insane for posting a 10-minute clip. Do not do that. But she didn't have any of that noise. And so I'm excited to see who the next like Risa Tisa will be, or who the next live streamer will be that pops off, or podcaster, because I think those are the people that are doing something new. And like, as long as you have a Wi-Fi connection, like you can always reinvent yourself. You can always blow up. You
just need a Wi-Fi connection, a phone, and a dream, baby.
Exactly.
Like, that's it.
Yes. Like, just put yourself out there. It's like it's such a numbers game. Like for me, when I was able to switch from like tarot's content into pop culture, it probably took me like 6 months of posting videos and then privating them because they weren't hitting, until I found what pop culture thing worked. So it takes time.
I would buy a Coco Mocoe tarot set in a second.
That was like my dream for the longest time. I would be like, because actually my dream now is to like eventually have like a book and stuff. Like I love physical media. I have a storage unit where I collect like things that I want to be in a pop culture museum. And I would love to have like a tarot deck and also just like a marketing book or something.
Good to see you soft launching it.
Yeah, maybe. I actually just signed to Gersh Talent Agency, and they were asking me, thank you. They were like, what's your biggest goal? And I'm like, to put out a book. Like, that's like that's why I'm reading one new book every month of this year, because I want to read books and figure out what I like about books. So then I can translate that into, when I write a book, I'll know what I like.
Your book's going to be so fab. I already know.
Thank you. Hopefully I can do it one day.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what's something in pop culture that you think is going to age better than expected?
Okay, so whenever I hear like better than expected, it makes me think of something that was hated when it came out and then it's going to be beloved. So like an example of that was like Jennifer's Body. Like when that movie came out, it got so much hate and awful reviews, and then like 10 years later it was like embraced, and that's when it's considered a cult classic. Like even when Fight Club came out in the 90s, actually people booed it and left the theater, and then it is now the most reviewed movie on Letterboxd. But there is a movie that I just watched this week that comes out. It's called Her Private Hell, with Sophie Thatcher and Charles Melton, and I actually kind of like hated the movie, and it was really bad. But then I was trying to understand, I'm like, who is this movie for? Like, why did they make this movie? And I'm like, oh my God, they want it to be like Gen Z's Jennifer's Body. So like it like visually is really cool and the outfits are really cool, but the storyline doesn't make sense. But I'm like, I actually think they were making the movie because they want it to be like clipped and like gifs in like 5 years. Like they don't actually care about
They're
the storyline.
thinking about the Twitter reaction memes.
Exactly. Like they want it. Yeah, it kind of makes me think of like Ryan Murphy's like Scream Queens, where it's like very much just like visually like memeable and stuff. A lot of Ryan Murphy shows are. And so I think Her Private Hell is something that I personally hated, but I could see even maybe Gen Alpha embracing in a couple years as they get older. I can't really think of something that like is gonna like age poorly. I'm trying to think of maybe trends. We were joking off camera, like maybe Face App's gonna be cheeky, but like I'm going down with that shit. Like,
Okay.
I love Face App.
Until the end of time.
Yes, Kiss 2 setting. Kiss 2 setting, thick eyebrows, lush hair. Sometimes I'll do a long eyelashes. And then if my forehead's out, I'll make it smaller.
Pitch it. No. I think FaceApp is gonna stay in. Like people are really embracing it on social media. Like I've been seeing so many TikToks being like, "Oh, I don't care what's taken away or what goes on my phone, but FaceApp is staying." I'm like, "Okay,
no, I know,
period, yes.
I know, $65 a year. I pay the annual, yeah.
Like, amen.
But you were saying you think Canon G7X photos?
Yeah, I think Canon G7Xs are
like the flash, just like the way it looks.
Like the flash, the overproducedness of it all. Because
Yeah.
I think now, because they're so popular,
Yeah.
it's kind of like the rubber band effect where like everyone wanted it before, and now everyone has it. And it's like, okay,
It's like, yeah.
now it kind of gives like inauthentic or like studio quality, where people are gonna start going back to. My friend has a iPhone 5. He went on eBay to buy an iPhone 5.
That's cool.
Just to get like the vintage sort of look.
Wait,
so
that's sick.
it's really kind. He got it for like $12. The pictures come out so
really
lo-fi.
Cool.
I think that might be next.
Yeah. I'm always obsessed with like old media. Like I actually collect, like I have like an old CD player and I'm really obsessed with like old media. I do think also like people are just gonna start using, like obviously we have our smartphones and I've written about this on Substack, but like dumb phones, like people are now having phones. However, I will say, that I think people that really boast about not needing a phone or being like, you'll see a lot of celebrities be like, I'm not on social media, I don't have an iPhone. That is also a status symbol because a lot of people can't afford to not have like people need a phone. Like I don't have a private driver who can, when I get in my car, I need a phone because I need to know how to get to my destination. Right. So I actually think people bragging about not having technology, it's a status thing because they're usually really wealthy and they have people around them like assistants and stuff who are doing all the who have phones, by the way. If your assistant has a phone, that doesn't freaking count. Right, they are also doing all the things that you would be doing on your phone.
It's second screen viewing. You're just asking them like, so what's turning on?
Yes. But what makes me think of that is I was in Amsterdam recently and they were telling us on one of the tours that in like the 1800s, it was a status symbol to live on the first floor of an apartment building. And then once the elevator was invented, it became a status symbol to live on the top floor because living on the first floor was a way to be like, I don't have to walk up the steps. I don't need to carry my groceries up. That's for the peasants. Like they have to go to the top. So then when that technology was invented, it was obviously a status symbol to be up there and like they like are like, I don't live on the first floor. So I'm really fascinated with what about our society right now is seen as the first floor status symbol that's going to switch. And I actually think phones and technology are seen as a status symbol right now. Like having the orange iPhone is like, I have the new iPhone 17 Pro. And I think that in like 10 years, it's going to be a status symbol to not need a smartphone. And there's going to be some sort of invention or technology where... The what?
The wearables.
The wearables, like glasses. I mean, I don't know. In our lifetime, I think there's going to be like contacts that you can wear where you'll see notifications popping up. And I think that we're going to tell our grandkids, they're going to think it's crazy. We're going to be like, yeah, we used to have to carry a metal box around and you had to plug it into the wall. And then you couldn't lose that metal box. They're going to be like, you didn't just see it in your eyes. Like, that's crazy. So like there is things that we have now that are the equivalent of the first floor of an Amsterdam apartment that I'm curious what's going to switch in the future.
That is so interesting.
And also like I like just to round up that convo, I also think it's really elitist when people say you can't like become a creator anymore. Or even when I was blowing up, I used to get really upset when people would be like, what's her like education background? Because I'm like, actually, I think the best thing about the internet is that it's one of the first times that people from all backgrounds can actually make it. And, you know, a mom with 3 kids, like working minimum wage at a restaurant or something, she actually has a chance.
Yeah.
The way, like, you wouldn't have that opportunity 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So whenever people are like, social media is done, or also notice people saying that are the ones with millions of followers.
Right.
They're saying that because they don't want other people to climb the ladder behind them. And don't get me wrong, I love Emma Chamberlain. I've actually met her and she was amazing. But I do remember a couple years ago, and I think she retracted the statement, but she said something about like, everyone can become famous now. That's why I'm not on TikTok, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I actually don't like that, because you're kind of pulling the ladder up from people that maybe there is like a mom out there who's like working at McDonald's that starts posting get ready with me videos in her car. Like, she would have never had the opportunity to become a huge creator 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So I don't like when people say people can't be creators anymore. They're pulling the ladder up.
They are. And I agree in all cases, except for like when it comes to like talking about certain things.
Oh, like
So,
if they need to be an expert.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, like,
yeah.
In some cases, like, let the experts talk.
Pull that ladder
Right.
up. Yes.
Quickly.
You need a graduate degree for
Right.
that. Yeah. That's why I used to get annoyed about like the trend prediction of it all, because I'm like, why are you guys mad though? Like, we're talking about like Ariana Grande's ponytail. Like
it's not.
I think anyone can make a video about that, you know?
I think we all sing. Like.
Yeah, I think we all sing here. But I do agree when it's like people are giving like medical advice. I'm like,
Where are your credentials?
okay.
Show
Yeah,
papers.
exactly. Yeah.
But now, in closing, I have a quick little segment.
Oh, yeah.
Where I just love the Clip Farm. So welcome
Let's
to
Clip Farm.
Emergency's Clip Farm.
Let me get comfortable.
And in this segment, it's a bunch of rapid fire, potentially messy questions
Let's
where
get messy.
we just get your opinions on
Yes.
things.
Hopefully the David Lynch community doesn't find me again.
Right.
If I can make it through that, I can make it through anything.
Is there anything you'd like to say to the David Lynch community, actually?
I want to say that I actually don't think all of you have even watched his movies. I think that you guys are haters. I think half of you didn't even know who he was until that video went viral, and then you just hopped on the train. And I also think if I was a male creator, you wouldn't have been as mad.
Ooh, wake it up. Y'all
Wake
just
it
happy
up,
to hate
because
on a woman.
Exactly, because I'm a female creator, I'm an idiot. But I'm sure if a man had asked an earnest question being like, oh yeah, like who is David Lynch? I don't think that he would have gotten dragged the same way. Specifically a white man.
Wake it up.
Wake it up.
Wake it up.
Just saying that.
You ate that. First one down, yes.
Sorry, David Lynch.
What's the worst personality type you've had to work with? Like, what kind of personality type do you never want to work with again?
I just hate like if I'm interviewing someone and they're really, really like they just don't give answers to questions. Like if they're really like, I get some people are nervous, but then like, or quiet, but then like don't come on like a podcast, maybe like do other things. So like I'll have like, I have one example in my head where I'm like teeing them up for viral things. I'm like, oh my God, you opened for this person. Like, what was that like? And they're like, good. I'm like, also, girl, I'm trying to hit a minute because I need the creator fund money. So can we elaborate on that? Good. Yeah, let's go 37 more seconds, babe. But yeah, if someone is just really like dry, and I get that that's just some people's like personalities, but it's really hard to interview someone if they're that way.
What's a flop to you?
I think, okay, I will say, I think a flop is if you just fully give up. Yes. And
That's hopecore.
That's hopecore. Yeah, let's put those like flowers on the frame and like music behind this. I actually think that a flop, you need to reframe it. It's not a flop, it's an exclusive drop.
Ooh.
There was only so many editions made. It was only so many Supreme jackets. Only 102 people got that product. So like when you flop, it's not that you're flopping. It was an exclusive. And only so many people got access to it. That's how you need to reframe it.
Amen. You heard it. I'm definitely putting hopecore music behind that.
Yeah, that was a limited edition. That was a limited edition video. You just don't get it. And you didn't see it because you weren't part of that.
Have you ever fake gagged over an artist's work?
Like been like fake excited?
Yeah.
No, I actually think I'm really good at like not doing that. I've had where they'll reach out and be like, what do you think of this? Do you want it? And I'm like, if I really don't believe in it, like I'll be like, maybe not right now, but reach out later. Maybe I'll do a video. And I'm sure people have felt the same way about me. I'm sure I've reached out to someone and been like, do you want to be on my podcast? And I probably didn't hear this part of the convo, but they're like, not yet. But like, let's see where her podcast is in a year.
Yeah.
Totally understandable.
Real.
Yeah.
So you've never had like a Trisha Paytas Women's World moment?
Woo! Oh, the beat. No, I really don't think that I've ever fake gagged over an artist. I think I'm really good at like being honest because I think my audience wants me to be honest.
Love.
So if an audience wants me to give my opinion on something and I'm refusing to make a video, you know where I stand.
Amen.
I'm just not going to say anything if I don't like it.
You don't have to answer this question
Okay.
if
I'm
it's,
excited.
if it's too much. We've had a conversation before at the top of this year.
Okay. Off camera?
Off camera.
Okay.
where we talked about goals
Oh, yeah.
and we talked about visions. Is it true that you made a interesting vision board prediction that came true?
Can I say the story without saying who it is?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
This is my favorite thing. Like, honestly, made this year.
It was scary that it happened.
It was actually very spooky. Like, Coco's the oracle.
No,
When
I
I tell
know.
you, she went into her conjuring pot, dropped a whole bunch of photos online, and did some kind of witchcraft.
I photoshopped and like on Canva, like I put that premium thing to work, and I did it also. I'm so extroverted. Like I actually get FOMO on Friday and Saturday if I think my friends are out. Like, well, I'll know they're out because they usually tell me. And I even stayed in. This is like, it was like December 23rd. It was like the last full moon of the year. And, you know, I'm pretty like witchy, you know, and I'm Irish and the Irish are witchy. And I stayed in on a full moon. And my friends, I remember it was like a Friday. They're like, come out with us in Venice. I'm like, they probably thought something was wrong. I'm like, I'm staying in to do my vision board. Like, it's like a full moon tonight. I like was photoshopping, boom, boom, bing, bang, boom. And I like wanted, like, this was the first time after I'd been single where I'm like, okay, I'm going to manifest like dating and a relationship because I hadn't gone on a date in over a year. And I was like thinking about like celebrity men that I think are like cute and stuff. And I grabbed a couple photos of different like celebrity guys. And I like, cause I didn't want to use like people in my real life. And also I'm only friends with like the girls and gays. So it's not like there's any like straight men that I have crush on because I just don't meet straight men. So like, DM me if you're straight and cute. But like, I like had a couple celebrity guys and I like photoshopped like us like together, like pap walks or whatever, you know? This is so crazy. I hope he doesn't see this. Oh my God. Please, if you see this, do not judge. And there was one specific person on my vision board. Again, many people on my vision board. I even had like random politicians that I thought were cute. Not problematic ones.
It was a sight to see.
You saw the vision board, right?
Yes.
Wait, were you at my
pictures.
house? Oh yeah. Oh, I
at
saw
the Christmas party. And you pulled up.
Wait, because I had just made it. That was like 2 days after.
Yes.
You guys, this is like 2 days after. Okay. So I was showing my friends at the Christmas party about like these like photos. And I also was photoshopping things like career wise. So I was
looked
like,
really good, by the way.
it was really good.
Like,
Yeah. Canva premium. And then on my freaking like birthday, you guys. So this is like a month later. My birthday's in January, at the end of January. On my 30th birthday, I go out with my friends in LA, and I actually don't see celebrities out. Like people always talk about seeing celebrities. I actually don't see them out a lot because I am the celebrity. No, I'm just kidding.
Period.
I'm the most
They see
handsome
you.
in the room. Just kidding. They're like, who? But no. I like walked into this bar with my friends. Again, we were like just going to random bars. It was not intentional. And there was this one celebrity there that was like one of the people like on my vision board because I'd also seen right before that he had followed me before I even followed him. So like I went to follow him and it said follow back. So I was like, exactly.
Right.
Sorry about
cookie.
it. Yeah, exactly. And so he was in this bar and I was just like, oh, like he follows me. He knows who I am. Let me just go say hi. So I was like, hi, like we're mutuals. And he's like, oh my God, you're Coco Mocoe. Like you're a freaking genius. Like da 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 da. And we connected. And then after I was leaving and I went to meet up with some of my other friends that were in the bar, and it was actually Adam the Flop because he was at the Christmas party. You guys probably know Adam the Flop. And he's like, Coco, because I forgot about my vision board. He's like, Coco, that was one of the celebrities that you like had on your vision board. And I was like, no fucking way. Like I don't want to give away everything that happened, but like, yeah, it was just really crazy that I kind of manifested something on accident.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until Adam reminded me, I was like, and it was like my 30th birthday a month later. And I was like, that was actually like powerful in a way that was kind of scary.
Actually.
Because what are the odds that I would walk into a bar, he was there on my birthday. Okay, you guys, please don't judge. But yeah, that's my truth. That's
Period.
my truth.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for being on the podcast. This has been such an amazing conversation. It's always great chatting with you.
I love you.
Where can people find you?
My most active is like TikTok and Instagram. If you guys want to see my face app photos, Instagram. And then if you want my deep dive marketing episodes and stuff, like Middle Row with Coco Mocoe podcast is filmed in the Spotify Theater. And my most recent episode is about the Odyssey.
Amen.
And yeah, the female lens.
So make sure to check her out everywhere at Coco Mocoe.
Coco Mocoe. Yeah,
Yes.
if you just type Coco Mocoe on whatever platform, except X. I'm not on X. I've
spooky
never been
place.
on it.
Well, thank you all. Thank you for being here.
Thank
and
you.
thank you all so much for watching another episode. Make sure to rate, review, subscribe, and do all the things to show how much you enjoy the podcast. I'd love to hear all of your comments, what you thought about what we talked about. Be sure to tune in another couple of weeks where we sit down with none other than Marissa Bodie from the two Wicked movies. We're going to talk about accessibility in Hollywood and what that actually looks like. Let me know who you'd like to see on the podcast next. We're doing this little thing where every other week we bring on a guest and we talk about the behind the scenes and diagnose pop culture on the emergency room. So, you know, we can only book people if you request. So, yeah, you can follow me on all my platforms at imuRgency, and you can catch this podcast every single Tuesday at 5 a.m. Pacific time. Thanks again so much for watching, y'all. We'll see you next time. Bye.